Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the European Racing Series Grand Prix here in Italy. I'm Ben Ragger McConnell, and joining me on the caster's desk is the legendary Jamie M. Caster Elder. How you doing?
Not too shabby, man. How are you?
I am not too shabby indeed. It is Italy. It's a beautiful track. It's one of those main tracks that has. And in fact, if you remember, the official F1 had a very messy qualifying because of how they were all trying so hard to get as much tow from each other. I don't think we'll be seeing that here today, but it's such a long run down towards turn one.
Yeah, let's hope we don't see a repeat of that. That was a complete abomination, honestly. Hopefully, we won't see anything like that today, and everyone will be racing hard and fair in the qualifying. And we've already seen some action out on track. So it looks like Yawn, I think, was on his way out already.
Yep, Max on his way out as well. He obviously recently got signed with Ozone, so he's going to be representing that team, and he's currently making his. I think he's the first one out, actually. No, Yawn is. You pointed out before I did already, but yeah, Yawn first one out, then Max, who's going to be after that. I think his teammate was coming out shortly after as well. Was that Copy who was coming out? No, Tompa.
Close. Give you that. Well, let's see how they get on. It's a lovely track here. Legendary track, in all honesty. It's been around for longer than even I've been around for. And that's a long time.
Yeah.
It has gone through a few changes over the years, particularly down the first chicane. It used to be, I'm going to get this wrong potentially, it used to be a right, left, left, right type opening. So with a little straight between two chicanes, and they simplified it probably 10, 15 years ago now. So it looks like it does today.
Now, before Yawn starts his hot lap, what's your top 3 prediction for qualifying?
Oh, well, Beaker loves this track, but his reliability of not crashing is quite low at times, particularly here. Again, Fragioka does love this track. Spicy, I think I remember Spicy doing quite well. Am I thinking of someone else here? But I think we've got to look towards Yonti as per usual. Could Copy spring something out of the bag here? Potentially. So I will go Yonti, Yawn, Copy.
Okay. I'm actually kind of with you for a couple of them, at least. I'm not sure Copy's going to necessarily make it into the top 3 today. Maybe being a little bit harsh. Copy has got some incredible pace, at least of recently. But yeah, like you said, Yonti's fast, Yawn's fast. I think ultimately it's going to be them two in top 1 and 2. But I do think it's going to be Yawn that's going to be beating Yonti today. He seems to be faster in the qualifying than Yonti does. But I actually think Fragioka on home territory might actually pull it out of the bag today. I think he may deliver what he needs in order to achieve something huge in his hometown. That would be great to see. But, plenty of time to go. We do need to do a hot lap, and actually Beaker's about to start one. Should we go on board with him?
Yawn's about to finish his lineup. We can have a look at Beaker as he comes around the final corner. When he was learning how to use the wheel, this is the track he came to. He loves this track, but he's so unreliable on it. And hopefully we're not going to see why as we go over the start-finish line. DRS opens actually after the start-finish line, which is kind of interesting. Into the first corner, hard braking. Hopefully that DRS closes, unlike Ericsson last season. Through then the exit of turn 2 and this long right-hander coming up the Curva Grande. F1 game, you can overtake. F1 real life, it is a masterclass to overtake through that corner. As you come up towards the second chicane, throws in left, then right. Don't go too far over the corners or too far wide on the exit gravel there and make a mess of you. Then into the left mode, turn 1, slightly banks down towards the inside. Get that power down, don't overdo it though. DRS station point just back there for this DRS as you go through the second left mode. And you're going to now sort of shift down under the original bank circuit there, going over the top. And that's still there, quite a lot of it. In then to probably the most famous corner, the Ascari. Left, long right, sharp left. Don't take too much of that corner because that's what can stabilise you. Beaker's surviving for now. And again, power down is next, straight down towards the final corner, the Parabolica, turn 11. Opening right-hander, and it is just a beautiful corner. As soon as you dare, get that power down as hard as you can and keep it onto the right side as the straightest line towards the line and do a 19.5.
Which is a solid time, and I think I think maybe a little bit harsh in terms of his qualifying. So I agree with you when it comes to race. He does have a lot of issues on this track. Mainly Ascari. It's killed him a few times over the history of his racing career. But you know, in the qualifying, that's an area you can rely on Beaker to deliver. I don't know whether or not he's going to be able to beat his teammate. I really doubt it. I think Yonti is just a little bit too fast. But Beaker has really shown improvement in his pace and his consistency as well. Actually, last week I saw him really commit to delivering a top result, and he did. It was exceptional to see, and you know, we're going to see it again hopefully tonight in Italy, one of his strongest tracks.
Yep, time will tell as to how he's going to handle here. We've had the opening gambit. A few people have come into Vizels, he invalidated early on in the lap, coming in. They're now going out on second runs. Those bottom 5 still to put in time. Homeboy Fragioko is out there, along with Maranello, baby. It's very similar helmets. The helmet I want to look at is on Lou. So, for those who haven't noticed, it's coming towards the end of October, which is Halloween time. And F1 2019 Codemasters have brought out Halloween-themed stuff. And
yep.
Lou has got a pumpkin on his head. Quite literally.
I mean, it looks grand.
It looks awesome.
You know? It's an interesting helmet. Hopefully this lap isn't going to be a pumpkin lap. We'll see. Coming up to the line, it's an out lap to start, and it's got to give everything.
Yeah, I kind of like this helmet. I don't know why.
Are you going to buy it?
I have to race to buy it, don't I?
Yeah, that's true.
What's the point of buying something if I don't actually use it?
So
they have actually got some quite cool stuff in the 2019.
Yeah, there are some really nice. There's a car that's got like cobwebs and stuff. It looks pretty cool. I like it.
I think that's all part of the same package. You can get sort of skeleton type overalls. You don't really get to see their overalls that much unless you get on the podium. So that rules me out and rules you out 90% of the time.
Hey, I'll have you know, I am picking up the pace. Jaroslav
We're
coming up to
boys.
the line. Is this going to be a good enough time? It's a 1:20.920. It's the slower of the times. Absinthe, the only person who's slower as it stands, has actually done a lap time. Fragioko getting a little bit out of shape through the first Lesmo, going through the second now. Gets a really solid exit there actually, so this could be still on for a good lap. It's all down to Ascari. This one honestly is a make and break for your lap times.
Yeah, I just had a quick look. He's actually gone fastest in the second sector. Quick look, Marinobo's off track after the first of the Lesmos. He's got front wing damage. Those hard tyres are not working for him. No grip whatsoever on those things. He slid into the wall with them. But Fragioko looking good in the second sector. So you're going to look good in the final sector. We're going to find out round the Parabolica towards the line. What's he going to get? Got to get a time. P8.
19.8. 1:19.867, so it's only slightly behind Spicy, and Max is only a little bit ahead of him. Not too bad stuff at all from Fragioko. Bear in mind, still have 10 minutes remaining of the session. There's still tons of opportunity for the track to evolve. Still plenty more grip, as Dennis just struggles to carry that grip a little bit through turns 1 and 2. He's still going alright, but yeah, I think ultimately this is probably going to be a backed out lap. I think he just made a bit of a mess of entry to turn 1, and I think he had a little bit of a gear issue there as well, where it downshifted, upshifted, and it just all fell apart a little bit for him. But he's still committed, and that's what matters.
Yeah, just checking Fragioko's gaps. He was over 4/10 off in the first sector. So he might have purpled the second sector, but it's all for now at the end of the day. Because he lost time in the first and in the second and third sector. But that second sector has now just been beaten by top man Yawn.
Oh! So Dennis, no!
He binned it.
Dennis! Why? Okay, so Dennis came out the second Lesmo, saw Max on the right hand side. Max then moved out the way to let him pass. Dennis then tried to get the slipstream, and then instead of turning out the way quick enough, he just went straight into the back of Max and lost his front left wheel. So,
oh dear.
Yeah, big old rip there for Dennis. I'm not actually sure. I didn't see it come up at the bottom left, but I don't know whether or not Max is going to get a penalty for that.
I didn't see it come up either. I might have missed that. I wasn't looking at that.
This is a rarity. This is a rarity. But Max was actually not at fault there.
Should we get this in writing, guys? Get a date and time on it. Max is going to have this framed, I think.
I mean, like I say, we've obviously Max has had a lot of issues in previous.
Beaker's nearly having a lot of issues there. Sorry, go on.
Was it Ascari? No, not
No,
yet.
it wasn't.
Lesmo won. Yeah, I was saying that Max has had a bit of a ups and downs sort of season. Sorry. Oh, Dennis is gone. That's not good news. There comes Beaker through through the Ascari. Now to the back of Tompo. Actually, Beaker's going to get a lot here. Look at that, he's on the toe. He might even commit to this lap. He's on mode 4, obviously. He's already still going to be going for it no matter what, but I don't know if he's going to have enough fuel for this. I think he might be chucking himself into the pits, you know.
Decent first sector. No, he should be okay. Decent first sector. It did improve, but it didn't move up.
Yeah. It's close. So
his first sector wasn't a personal best, but then his personal best isn't that far behind purple time.
No. So Spicy, it says, has done a lap 1:19.597. He's probably going to be chucking himself into the pits, as is most other drivers. We've got an outlap there from Fred Gioco, who in his home race is sat down in P9 at the minute, but still, it's 7/10 between him and P1. That's easy enough to adjust. Just got to find a little bit of time in the corners. You know, that you're a little bit slow out of. He's not on a hot lap right now. Obviously, this is the preparation lap. You got Lou doing the same thing, prepping again, about to come up to Parabolica, and then you got Vexation in the pits, and Maranello, baby, out there on the hards.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, what's he thinking? I know we've still got plenty of time left, and he's got time to do a hard lap, then a soft, and he'll save some tyres. But this doesn't seem the right decision. He's really messed up one hard lap because he had no grip. If he was on the softs or even the mediums, he would have been okay coming off the first Lesmos, I would have thought. But yeah. He's now... Why are people joining?
I think it was left as friends only, I think. And people have joined, not realised what's going on. Ah, he's gone. That's both of them gone. Yeah. Sweet. So I'm not sure, honestly, in terms of your question about Maranello, baby. I wouldn't be out on hards right now. I mean, maybe he's just trying to shake the cobwebs off and doesn't want to use any of his tyres, but he's got a couple of spares. One spare soft tyres. He could easily go out and do that. Two softs, one mediums, and a hards is what you get given for this qualifying session. So I'm not sure why you would opt for the hards at all, unless he's already used one set and didn't want to go out again on another set until he was ready for the final push. Right now, ultimately, he's not even on a... Even though he says he's on a hot lap, he's not on a hot lap. I'm in Mode 2 for so long, Mode 3 now. I think this is just to get out, drive the track, sort of shake off the cobwebs, prepare yourself for the hot lap. And if so, that could be all it is. If it's more of a confidence builder, that could be really good for him.
Yeah, but he's not going to gain anything out of this other than that. He's not going to move... He's going to gain one place on Vexation. And Vexation will fully expect to beat this. He's not going to outpace anyone. He's just going to end up 15th or 16th.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to outplace anyone. I think he's purely just focused on clearing his mindset. You know, if you've had an if you did a hot lap and it didn't go quite as well as you planned, and you know, it also kind of reminds me of the Dragon Ball Z sort of situation where Goku goes to the other planet, remember, and he's got, you know, he trains with a planet that's got like 10 times the gravity, and he's also using weights to sort of make it harder for him as well. And then he comes back to normal Earth, and then, you know, the guy can move like ridiculous speeds and jump ridiculous heights. Maybe Maranello Baby is trying to replicate a similar sort of thing where you go out on the hards and you sort of get used to that. You know, your muscle memory sort of gets used to the hard compound, and then you go out on the softs again and jobs are good.
Well, Jorn's just invalidated why you're talking about Dragon Ball Z. He had a purple topic. First sector. There are better topics. Like the weather.
Well, speaking of the weather, it's dry at the minute, but I've not had the weather report for the race. Have you been told what it's going to look like?
Not as yet, no. I have a notification on Discord, but I can't see what it is at the moment. But I've not been informed. Hopefully it's going to stay dry for them. For us, hopefully it's a little bit of rain.
Oh, Vexation's got a little bit of slipstream going on for him here with Jurislav. He needs to pray that Jurislav either jumps out of the way or continues going pretty ham, because as it stands, Vexation's doing well, but Vexation's going to be able to, not really going to be able to give it the full beans if Jurislav's even slightly slow, but 2 lots of DRS is really good for Vexation right now. Although Jurislav needs to move, I don't think he's going to. Now you could argue Jurislav's naughty for that because...
Oh, spicy! But how much is this benefiting Vexation? Could he have actually gone faster? And now he overtakes Jurislav, that's interesting. Jurislav was on a flyer as well.
Yeah. It said outlap for me, I don't know.
It did as well,
we missed something.
Yeah. I mean, he had just set a personal best, so... I don't think you can argue that he was blocking. He was fully entitled to be there. It was 100% Vexation's fault for not leaving enough space.
And I think Vexation still gained anyway, if you think about it, from all of the towing that he got. I think realistically that's the situation. But we are at the point now, we're about to have it ended already, which is the calm before the storm, as majority of the drivers are in the pits, prepping themselves for that final push on the right tyre that they choose to go for. And ultimately, it looks like it's going to have to be softs. Soft to hards is doable, mediums to hards is more enjoyable. You could also do softs to mediums if you are properly smart on your tyre wear, because ultimately every corner is a chicane, but a slow one. The only one that's fast is, well, Parabolica is a fast corner, Ascari is a relatively fast corner, but that's it. They're the only corners that you'd take a great deal of speed. Even the Lesmos are not that fast.
No, but we've got 5 drivers separated by just under a tenth. We are looking good for this, as Jurislav is going to go again. He's not coming in. Hasn't got the time to do that. It's looking incredibly tight at the top. I did mention that I think Spicy could be there towards the end. Jurislav's got to be careful because Max has just come out of the pits, unfortunately not getting in his way. Who else is on a fly? Wrong button.
Also to mention, Gurku isn't doing anything. Just stays out on hard tyres, does 3 laps, sets the slowest time of the session. I honestly, I am not sure what he's trying to do.
You thought he was trying to set himself, but I mean, that's what practice is for, surely.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you'd have thought that they would have put a lot. Well, you'd have thought he would have put a lot of practice into this, but into the pits, and that's the end of his qualifying session. There's going to be nothing else more that he can do about it. Duxby out there on a hot lap, has retired as well, actually. That's Marinello, baby, sorry. Duxby now coming across the line, going to be the first of the final pushers to go for a lap. It does improve by 0.2, but it only just gets him by 1,000th of a second on Tompa into P10. Tompa could easily improve. Lou is out there as well, coming up to the turns 4-5.
Yep, just keep an eye on those deltas, watching to see if we get anything purple flashing up. Yawn does not hit the first corner very nicely. On his attempt to get after Spicy at the top. I did mention I thought Spicy could throw something in, and he's not going to be throwing anything else in. That's his time done. I think Spicy might lose a fair few places here.
Yeah, potentially.
He's in the best position
to Jon's really committed to this lap. He's really giving it the full beans, but he just ran a little bit deep there on the corner. Yes, he kept himself out of the gravel, but only just. Jurislav obviously retiring as well, so 120.036 is the best he can achieve. P14 at best.
Oh, sorry, Jonty nearly losing it at Beaker Corner. Nearly. It has been nicknamed Beaker Corner, the turn 10, last part of Ascari.
Well, there is a car off. Oh, that's Alpha.
Jonty's backed out. It's done. Yawn, I believe, had gone faster in the opening sector. Can he now improve? We don't really have times until they cross the line.
Oh, there it is. The 118. That's what we like to see. All right, so Jon takes P1. I did call that Jon was going to be on P1, but Jonty, I said, was going to be P2. Didn't even predict Spicy at all in the top 3. Hello, Beaker. Now Copy coming up to the line. It's going to be a fast one. This looks like it could be P3 for Copy. I am going to eat my words right now. When I said, Copy, I don't think you've got what it takes to be up there today. And he says, shut your mouth. I will take P3. Thank you very much. 119, 119. That's a beautiful time there from Copy.
Yeah, we'll get a split in the second. I didn't quite catch them all. But I did think Copy would get there. He is starting to be improving over the last let's say the last few months, really, in all honesty. It's taken time, but it is now starting to work for him. And there we go.
So here's your rundown at the end of the qualifying session. You got Jorn on pole position, the only driver to break into the 118s, a very fast time indeed, 118.906, with Beaker, quite surprisingly actually, at the second step, with Copy there in third, Spicy in fourth, Yonti in fifth, Brownie in sixth, with Fragioco in seventh, Vexation 8th, Max 9th, Duxie B running out the top 10. And if you look at it, the top 12 are within just over 8/10 altogether. And even the next step down is only just outside of a second. So it's really going to be quite a close race today.
Yeah, it's set up to be an exciting race, and hopefully we will see said exciting race.
Well, I've also been told the weather is going to be dry. All race should be dry.
Oh.
But I mean, that's a good thing. No, well, I think
I like the change.
Yeah, well, I would agree with you on any other track. This is the only track that I can think of, at least, to mind, where having it in the wet doesn't really benefit anybody at all, and especially not the viewers. Like, think about it. You're driving on this track. You've got tons of opportunity for slipstream. You've got tons of opportunity for DRS overtakes, and there's a lot of areas where that can happen. And especially if you get really a solid exit through 1 and 2, you can really line them up towards the next chicane of 4-5. And I think that wouldn't be as enjoyable in the wet because it's just, I don't know, it's just so messy.
But at the same time, that Curva Grande, if you get the perfect drive off it, that is even better. Because you got a chance all round it. You got the chance of getting someone round the outside of that corner. If they've sort of had a little wobble coming off the first chicane, you've got that chance to take them round the outside. It's so much harder to get that drive, that better drive off the corner in the drive, because everyone's got just a much equal level of grip, haven't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, look at the tire situation. It's a very nicely organised little bunch there. You got everybody in the top 10 is on the softs, and then everybody outside of the top 10 is on the mediums. And obviously they're going mediums to softs because you can. The question is though, those that are on the softs, obviously they are going to be on much more worn tyres than those mediums are going to be, because they've done a hot lap on them. And in some cases, I think they did too. It's going to be hard for you to manage those softs. You may have to go softs to hards to be able to take the mediums far enough, but softs to hards because you can't take the mediums far enough. And I think ultimately that's going to be the game changer, I think, really, when it comes to strategy.
Well, we're going to see. It's honestly surprising no one outside has gone for a set of softs, but at the same time, it's not surprising when you think about it. I know it might sound a bit contradictory, but yeah.
We usually do see at least one, don't we? And we haven't seen one, which is, I mean, it's good. Everyone's got the brain turned on. It looks like everybody's going for the better strategy, which is absolutely the alpha strategy. We always say the same thing every time we see these races. Outside of the top 10, go for the harder tyre. You come to the later stages, when you go into your next stint, you've got so much less fuel, so much lighter car, and ultimately that just means you can properly nail it and take the tyres further than you can at the beginning of the race. As is.
As is? Oh, really?
I'm leaving Beaker in P2.
Jorn, Spicy, Yonti.
I'm surprised you didn't go with Brownie, because usually he's your go-to man when it comes to...
I was looking at him going, he looks a little too far down.
I mean, ultimately the guys in front of him are very quick, and especially when it comes to race pace. Ultimately, my worry is whether or not Beaker's going to be able to maintain throughout Ascari, because like we said earlier, that has been the problem area for him. But it's time for him to do or die, as we got the lights on the screen, and now they're out. That means we're going to be getting underway with the Italian Grand Prix, and immediately Jorn gets off to a beautiful start, and that looks like Beaker's made a mistake straight off the bit. Spicy copies straight on past. Yonti's coming up to him as well. This is not going to be looking good going in towards turn one. Lots of shoveling. Oh, wow, yeah.
Absinthe, Max, and Lou all having issues as Absinthe is going through the polystyrene chicane. And there's going to be a fair few pit stops, probably 3 or 4 pit stops. Definitely 3, potentially more. As Fragioco's looking to make moves on Brownie. Oh, Ferrari trying to go side by side with the car through second chicane. That doesn't end well in my recollection. But he survived.
Beaker had a horrible start though, just couldn't get off the line at all. It's like he just got caught out whilst when the lights disappeared, he was sort of like, now I guess, and then that was it. He took off and it was just too late. Everyone else blitzed on past. Yonti got a brilliant start. Copy got an even better start, and Spicy's had a rough one.
Yeah, Beaker's just giving him a head start, you see.
Yeah, he felt sorry for him, that's all it was.
Yeah. I'm hoping Frederick can do us proud today. I'd love to see him at the front as Yonti goes past Copy, up into P2, down into Parabolica. That's an opportunistic overtake. Had the slipstream through that corner, but Yawn. That gap is accurate on your screen, guys. Not that one. The one just before that. He is 1.8 seconds clear.
He is very... Oh, okay. Max.
Max about to retire?
No, I don't think he is. I mean, usually do see that, but I think he's just a bit careless, I think, was that situation. Interestingly, has he gone onto the softs? No, he's on the mediums. So he's joined everyone else on the back of the grid into the mediums. Ultimately, I think that's the right thing. Go to the softs later, come back at it, and then, you are effectively starting outside of it. But those, like Tompa and Dennis, they've been gifted a fair bit here. They can really benefit from the situation that happened on the opening lap into turn 1. And ultimately...
What you speak of those two, they're going side by side through the Lesmos. As you say that. And Dennis has got ahead just about from Tompa. But Tompa's coming back at him as he's going down towards the sky. Little bit of wheel to wheel there. Tompa's going to be outside of the first corner. Dennis is just a bit ahead at the moment. Will Tompa send one back down the inside? He's looking. He's not going. He has put Dennis off his line a little bit. So hopefully, a little bit of lag there for Dennis. That's going to allow Tompa to go in the ground. He's come back on. He's going to lose a place there to Marinello. He's taken advantage of all these issues. And with Jerusalem, he's also coming past Tompa. So that was a big mistake from Tompa.
Yeah. Oh, he's coming back at him? No, he couldn't get him.
Marinello was going at Dennis, though. He's thinking about it as he obviously goes fastest of everyone. He attempts to close down. Look at the front three already. Look at the lead between those ones.
Oh, Marinello, baby. He's going for him in towards turn 1. This is going to be a deep dive brakes. Who's going to get the last braking? It's going to be Dennis getting a good brake action. Oh, big contact there from Jurislav. Right into the back of Marinello, baby. I have no idea how Marinello, baby, did not get any wing damage there. That was a big shunt. I saw the whole of the Mercedes just bounce, but kept it together. We're still going okay. We actually got side-by-side action between Fragioco Vexation. Wheels were touching again, same place. Ferrari going side-by-side with another car in that corner does not go too well. And although it worked out for him, it didn't work out for Vexation.
Yeah, he's already under pressure from Dennis. There's going to be some DRS as we go down towards Sky. And Dennis just doesn't get the drive of the corner, but he's going to come under a little bit of pressure from Marinello, baby. He does have DRS himself to defend. Marinello just isn't going to be close enough to even consider a dive from back there. That's even Danny Rick will go, no, that's too far for me, mate.
Well, yeah, exactly. Spicy there. Actually. Look at Spicy right there on the back of Copy. We are on lap 3, so we are about to see DRS being utilised down the home straight. Copy does not have DRS to defend with. Spicy's got the gap down enough to be able to actually attack this. And he's going for them ERS mode 4. Nope, he's decided it's not time. But Marinello, baby, is he going for it? He is.
Yep, Vexation as well in front. I'll keep my eyes on Marinello, baby. He's through. Where's Vexation? He is also through. And he is, yes, he's leading into the chicane. So he's confirmed that position. Marinello, baby, also confirming there. So the Ferrari's losing out twice on the home straight at the same time through DRS.
Yeah. Look at Fragioco's front right wing. No end play. Does obviously tell us he's been involved in an incident. I can only assume it was when he had a battle with Vexation through this exact chicane right here. We said already earlier it doesn't work out too well for the Ferraris in this area, and I don't know if it was exactly that, but we can only imagine. Spicer, actually interestingly, is still on the back of Copy. Copy's managed his DRS very well considering he's been getting attacked non-stop. Speaking of which, Spicy coming at him right now in towards the sky. Is he going to flick it in? He actually backs out. He could have had him there. I think Copy was trying to sort of size him up for it, weirdly. It looked like Copy just sort of eased off to let Spicy just have a look at it and see what he could do. But if you try and do any sub-overtake like that so late onto the corner, you are asking for trouble. And speaking of trouble, Beaker's getting attacked by Brownie.
Yep, Brownie. Beaker doesn't have DRS now from Spicy. He's dropped too far back. There should be an easy overtake for Brownie, but he's got to get the corner, link it all up, and he's done a pretty darn good job there. 3 tenths off, DRS is open, mode 4 in. This has got to be an overtake. Sure, he's going to go around the outside of the first one. He's through for now, but Beaker's still there. Beaker goes in, takes a bit too much to the corner, and it's actually then loses out of that position. as behind Fred Joko is still on the back of Vexation. He has 38% front right damage, just to let you know.
It's pretty brutal, to be honest, looking at it. I mean, ultimately, all that's going to mean is the left-hand down corners are going to be a really tough one, but that's only in the fast areas, which luckily for him, the only area that is actually going to be a problem for him is on the entrance to Ascari. That's literally it. There's going to be no other area that's going to be a problem for him, because every other corner is just a right.
The exit of Ascari, where there's a nice bit of gravel on the outside if you get it wrong, could be quite crucial. And that's quite a hard corner when you've not got the ability to turn so easily left.
I think it's quite a hard corner even when you've got a front wing, and you're going to see Fred Joko trying to do it without one.
He's going to lose it.
He's lost a lot, but look at that.
Maranello is relatively close on those mediums. Pit window for the Sauce, I'm thinking probably lap 10 to 12 maybe. Maybe Fred Joko might come in a little bit earlier. But considering he's not losing a lot right now, I think he'll be quite happy. He's probably about to lose a pace to Maranello. But if he can stay on the back of him, as I say that, Fred Joko very late on the brakes there. Very late.
Yeah, he lost everything going into that corner. He really felt unstable. His tyres are going to be hot now. Maranello, baby, who's on these mediums, he's going to be loving life right now. And you can see there's a limping Ferrari coming at it. And Maranello is just going to stick it in. Turn 4-5, gets the move done.
A bit of a corner cut though for Maranello. Gets away with it as someone else just kicks up a bit of dust in front of him. Absent 3-second penalty to his name. First 3-second penalty of the day. We've had a couple of pit penalties, but that's the first 3-second.
Spicy still on the back of Copy, not yet planning that overtake, at least not yet. I mean, Copy's situation, they're about even now in terms of ERS, 41% on Spicy, 46% on Copy. I don't think either of them, oh no, Copy's now using ERS to defend with. Spicy's just been sat in mode 0 for that whole straight. Ascari and that straight, he didn't touch any ERS. Now he's back on it again. You're going to see the difference that this is going to make now as Copy is in mode 3. He's going to be burning a little bit. Spice is going to be burning a lot more, slowly bringing himself into this situation. Might go for the late move. This is going to be a braking zone, but he backs out. Says it's just a bit too much to ask. I don't want to run the risk of breaking either of our wings or races. And Copy, you can hold on to P3 for now.
Yeah, a little battle going on at the back though. Duxby and Tompa are going at it. 0.3 between them as they can hand me out to the Parabolica. Hards versus mediums. So interesting that Tompa's actually able to keep up with Duxby on the hard tyres, but we'll see how they do. Come on, Duxby, look at that. That is the medium tyres working to perfection. Just gets the drive off the corner. You can have DRS and all the ERS in the world and you won't be able to close that gap up.
No, I think Tompa can be faster. I think it's just purely in conservation mode. Just look after the tyres and go for it. Although that was a really good 1-2. That's how you want to do 1-2 if you can. Just get a really nice solid line. Get turn 3 like this. Get in the slipstream. He's not using ERS, which tells me he's not even going to look for the overtake here at all. But that could have very easily been P14 in his pocket. And I think ultimately Tompa has the pace to leave Duxby behind, even though he's actually on the better tyre.
Yeah, he made Duxby go defensive as well into that corner, which is quite important. It just messes up your line, adds a little bit more wear to that tyre if you can put people off their lines. Duxby's worried, and not surprising because Tompa is right there. He's got the DRS this time. This has got to be the overtake. He's in mode 4. He's going to go around the outside. Is it around the outside? Oh, Duxby comes across to squeeze him. Tompa is still side by side going through the third part of Ascari. Oh, I thought that was nudge. Oh. Here comes Max though.
Can I just say, what class racing between those guys to do that? Yeah, Max just capitalises on the mistake that Tompa made, and that's Max now up in a P15. They managed to go too wide throughout the entirety of Ascari, and I don't think there was a car touch between them. There was a mistake, definitely, from both drivers, but I don't think there was any contact.
Well, Max has just been gifted another position as Duxby lags into his face.
Yeah.
And
keeping an eye on
DRS.
Duxby's dropped
Where did
right
that come from, Tompa? Tompa just sent one. I didn't even see it coming until he hit the side of Duxby. Tompa's still going at it though.
He's not backing out.
Duxby's got no ERS to work with. He's on like 5%. So you back off as you come to this corner. Tompa, he's going to go for it. Yellow in sector 3. It's now finished, but that was a front load. I'm just trying to see. Sector 3 times aren't in yet, so I can't tell you who that was. But Tompa's still on the back of Duxie. Max makes a little mistake ahead of him.
Spicy and Copy. Beaker's there speeding in the pit lane penalty, and Copy has been passed by Spicy, so that biding of the time and just really getting everything together has worked out for Spicy. He's really put Copy on the back foot now, and this is looking good for Mercedes driver.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out who made the mistake to cause the yellow flag in sector 3. My only guess is Beaker, because he did the longest sector 3 of anyone, but he also came in the pits, so it's all for now.
Yonti's really caught up to the back of Yon, actually. Yon was so far ahead initially, and Yonti just put down the pace and started to reel him in now, and I think this is ultimately looking really solid for Yonti's situation currently. Pushing as hard as he can to close up to the back of Yon, and I think ultimately this could go. I don't think this is going to be a battle for Slipstream or DRS overtakes. I think this is going to be a battle for purely pit lane.
Yonti needs to now come in and undercut. Yonti needs to come in irregardless at this point. If Yon comes in, he has to come in. If Yonti he doesn't come in, then he definitely has to come in. Even more important, Yon is definitely going in. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of what he had to do at that point. Yeah. I can see his tyres, and they were on the verge of not being fun to play with.
So it's good that Yon's in, it's good that Yonti's in. We're going to see a very exciting exit now. And there's delays in Haas. They did not get themselves ready, at least not on my screen. And I think... Oh no, they've come out side by side, so it's okay. It must have been just a visual bug on my side, but...
I think that happens, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit frustrating. However, the gap is actually pretty still close. There's no change really. 6/10 is the gap. Yon's right there. It's now going to be who can drive better when their tyres are colder, and whether or not Yonti can actually maintain it. Yon's just shot off. Look at that. He's gone. See you later.
He's managed to warm those tyres up in one corner. Yon is now starting to creep him back in, but that is down to Slipstream mostly. Yellow flag in sector 3, and I've just seen a purple sector 3 time for Fragioco, so he's loving life on the mediums at the moment. Yellow
flag
sector
again.
3 again.
Who is that?
I think it's Duxie. Look at the time, yeah, it's got to be Duxie. He's just dropped 22 seconds.
And he's back in the pits again, and he's retired. So the first retirement of the day is Duxie B in the pits. And leave Session to go with it, but we need to look at Maranello, baby, because he's getting ready for the attack on Vexation. Whilst this is for physical P2 right now, it's going to be later on, I think, net P6, P7, if I remember correctly. Vexation's in, so this is great news here for Maranello, baby. He's got the free airs on the medium tyres. He's going to be pushing further than anyone else is currently doing that's been on the top 10 at least. And I'm not sure what Maranello is going to do. I don't know how he's going to manage that pace.
He's just got to stay ahead of everyone as long as he can. Duxie B's AI has been thrown out of the pit, so hopefully this is not going to cause a safety car. I have seen it on this track where they go into the pits and get thrown out, and that's what caused the safety car on this track. It doesn't happen on many others, from my memory.
There you go, virtual safety car. So there's the car on the right side. Max getting a penalty again for speeding in the pit lane. This guy needs to calm it down. He's going to end up with so many penalties. He's not actually... I mean, he's going to serve one actually now.
Yeah.
Can you serve a 5-second in the... on the virtual? Yeah, he is.
Well, so he is. Yeah, because he just done it.
So,
I didn't know
hard
if he could,
tyres though, and that's odd. Hard tyres from this moment forward is not really a scenario you want to be in. I'll be truthfully honest. If you could avoid it, you should. Virtual safety car still out for now. I'm not sure if we're going to see it coming in
at the wrong time for the medium runners.
Yep.
If it came maybe a few laps ago, they could have changed on to hards, but we are back underway again. If it came later, they could change on to softs, but now they can't do anything. If they wanted to pit, they'd have to put mediums on again, and they'd have to still pit after. And they wouldn't go on to hards because they'd just be so slow.
So, gap from Yon to Lou is now under the 1 second margin. Does Yon have DRS? He does not. Does have Slipstream though, so Yonti won't be able to do anything at all here except for just try and bring that gap down, but he does have to worry about if Jon can get past Lou very quickly, because if Lou doesn't have to let them by at all, they are physically battling for position. Yes, in the long run they're not, so Lou probably won't put that much of a fight up, but ultimately this is benefiting Yonti the longer that Jon is stuck behind Lou. Although here he goes, looking for it immediately, got yellow flag in sector 3 again, and this is going to be Jon down the inside of Lou, so now Yonti has to find a way past him as quick as possible.
Max. It's Max. He's had enough. He's lost at Ascari. He's just driven into the wall on purpose. We're about to see a retirement from Max.
Well, Yonti making quick work of Lou. Not hesitating at all to get that move done and dusted there. But Jon's getting a little bit out of it. About 8/10 now is the gap. So Jon will have to try and pull away a little bit more and push Yonti to give it everything in order to hold on to it. And just 1 second, because if you look at Brownie, he is very close to the back of Vexation. There's Max retiring from the session, and Vexation's in trouble.
Yep, I went completely the wrong way around the order, and I found him. I was on Max, and I went to Marinello open down. Don't ask.
I won't ask. Spicy though. Also getting onto Lou, looking for the braking zone. Might go for a very late move. There he is. He was very undecisive there. Could not work out whether or not he wanted to go around in that corner at all, and eventually did decide, yeah, I should probably just do this and get over with. Brownie's managed to get past Vexation. Vexation trying to just stick to the back of him. They are on the same age of tyres, bear in mind. It's just that Brownie just seems to have a lot more pace as it stands. Vexation is going to try and sit on the back of him and slipstream into the end of the race.
Yeah, speaking of pace, Yonti has turned up. He loves medium tyres by the looks of things. Jon is coming under a lot of pressure. He's going to get a little bit of tow here from Druslav and DRS. Again, this is all helping him. The problem is he's about to run out of people to be helped by. Because after Druslav and absent, there's 5 seconds to Dennis. And he's going to pass both of these guys before the end of the home straight, I suspect. If he doesn't get past by Yonti before then, because Yonti is closing up onto Jon. Is he looking? He is going to go for it. Into the parabolic. He's got the inside line. Jon can't do anything about it. Yonti has effective race lead. Has either of them got DRS though? Yonti does. Jon does. But Jon has. Look at Jon's ERS. 5%.
I was going to say. It's so low. This is actually worked out really well for Jon. As long as you are careful. Oh, nudge into the back of Yonti. No damage. I thought there was going to be a shunt and a half there into the back of Yonti, but no. Just about keeps himself out of it. The worry now that Jon has, like you said, his ERS levels are super low. Yonti has a lot of raw pace anyway. And Jon, who had Slipstream, had DRS, couldn't, and he was even deploying a lot of ERS, couldn't get away from Yonti, and Yonti just passes him anyway. Now Jon cannot allow Yonti to just run away with this. He has to conserve as much ERS as possible whilst they're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, and he's doing that. He's in mode 0 at the moment. I mean, Yonti's not much better on the ERS. And Jon, you look at it, he's on 20%. He's just shifting to 4 to keep on the back of Yonti. But there's only about 7% between them. And Yonti backs off from overtaking Druslav because he knows he's about to get a best run. But he's actually going to go around the outside here. That could end in tears. It hasn't, fortunately for Yonti. But that, again, has now brought Jon right into the battle. He's not really pushing, but he's just hovering. And it's just a Yonti pulling away. ERS now between them are pretty much on the nose. But it's all about the drive off the corner. Who's going to get the better one? As Max has left the session. Yonti, DRS open. Jon is actually closing up. He's getting double DRS. Double slipstream. There's no space though. He's got to try and send it. And he's trying to send it. There's a bit of lag there from Yonti into the face of Druslav. Jon lost out big time because Yonti did a perfect job there. He knew Jon was coming and just went, I'm just going to put this in the middle of the track that's left, and you got nothing.
Jon made a big mistake there, trying to pass Yonti in the area of the track. It's just, yes, in a normal circumstance you could do that, but why burn all that ERS when you don't need to? Just sit in mode 0, sit on the back of Yonti, just tow him all the way through. And at least then you're not trying to put yourself in any precarious position. You come out of the corner, you have ERS to work with. I mean, right now, Look at it, 9%, single digits. Yonti, 11%. Yeah, he's only slightly over that. But, I mean, he managed to get the benefit of all of it. The gap is now 1.2 between Yonti and Yon. Yonti's done exactly what he needed to.
Yeah, he's broken the toe. Yorn could close in, but he's actually just losing a little bit of time there. Spicy is also on the back of Jerusav. It's just a train coming past Jerusav. I feel a bit sorry for him. He wants to not lose time to the guys in front of him. And looks like he's actually coming into the pits because the other guys have also come in front of him. And Marinabu is going to find Sauce. It's going to be interesting to see how these... Dennis, you okay, mate? Is this official for me, or is that same for you?
Dennis is on his way out.
Yeah, what tyres is he on?
Softs. Oh, hards. Wait, what?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Dennis has made a boo-boo.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I don't know why he did that. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, Vexation is on Brownie. Brownie we saw earlier get a 3-second time penalty, which is not usual for him. Vexation almost went into the back of Brownie there, but just kept himself alive. And yeah, it's still changing.
So Dennis's actual tyres are red.
Yeah.
But they are showing in our display as whites or hards.
So the one that's on the graphic is the correct one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh,
unless there was an issue.
Vexation, Brownie. Oh, he had to look for it. He just couldn't get it into Ascari. He's actually getting caught out by Brownie. He's making mistakes. Brownie's like just all over the back of Lou, looking for an opportunity to just sling it past him, but it didn't work out for him very well at all. And here comes Vexation, has the pace, and he's not even in slipstream. Has backed out of it just to make sure he doesn't pass. That's why he ran into the clean air, to make sure that everything would operate going through the Parabolica, because this is the moment that he wants to get. The push that you need to attack Brownie is right here. Yeah, Brownie's going to have DRS, and actually Vexation backs out of it, but Vexation could have passed, and now he's got to worry about those behind, because here comes Marinelle Baby. He's going to send this, I can feel it, but he doesn't. Maybe into 4-5. Brownie goes wrong. That's Vexation getting all over him, looking for an opportunity, and Vexation's really putting the hammer down now. Marinelle Baby is just sitting back and watching it. I'm not sure if Vexation's going to actually make the move, or if he's going to just sit back and hold it throughout. Mode 2 on the ERS. I think, yeah, he's just going to sit tight and wait for it.
Yeah, there's no point Mariner Baby pushing too hard. He's on a completely different strategy to these guys in front of him. Okay, they are effectively now definitely racing each other, but he's going to have so much more grip where it matters. Like coming off this corner with that DRS. Vexation should be sitting ducky if Mariner Baby fancies it. He's in mode 4. DRS open, just not closing up as much as he'd like, unless he's going to look for a very late lunge. Again, he knows things like that are going to happen to the guy in front of him.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's gone for that mediums to soft strategy. Ultimately, this is hammer time. If he was, he's driving that car, you'd have thought he'd be knowing that as well. You know, this is the time. You have to give it the full beans. Turn the wick up to 11 and just go for it. Don't back out. And right now, that's exactly what he's planning. Mode 4 on the ERS. Vexation's lost a fair bit of time there to Brownie. And all we're going to see here is just Vexation, who clearly seems to have 0-0 front wings, because he is absolutely flying down this straight.
Yeah, but he says he's flying, but yeah, he's not overtaking. He is staying ahead of Marinero Baby, but he's just not making the moves where it matters, and that move where it matters is past Brownie, because he's got a fast car behind him. He needs to get past as Drusav and Tompa swap places. No surprise there. That's soft versus very old hards.
Yeah.
Absent will also be making that move very shortly.
Honestly, Tompa going for the hard tyres was an interesting call, to say the least, because why would you try that, as Absinthe is going around him as well? Manages to make that one work. Yeah, hards on this track, they're straight up no-go. I get why, because obviously he came in early and had to pit lap 3, ended up pitting to come onto these hards and everything, but at the same time, the hards don't work that well on this track. You have to go for mediums to softs. Even if you just have to start your stint all over again, then just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out what tyres... Yeah, I mean, all my things are pointed towards hard for Dennis. The only thing that's pointed towards soft is the physical tyre that I can see.
Yeah.
But at the same time, his space the pace against
Hold the phone. Oh, big send it by Maranello Baby, straight on past Vexation. That was a very swift move. Vexation broke a bit early. Maranello Baby said, I will absolutely snap this opportunity up. And look, Vexation, I will show you how you pass the car you've been trying to do for such a long time. Into turn 4, 5 a go, and it's going to be Maranello Baby taking the outside line into the beginning of the chicane, backs out. Brownie's ran deep. That's going to allow Maranello Baby to just slingshot out of it, but Brownie covers him. Beautiful defensive drive there from Brownie. Runs a little bit back over to the grass and almost ends up on it. And he needs to be careful here because I think Maranello Baby's going to get impatient soon and just send it.
Like he did to Vexation, yeah. Brownie's move was quite on the risk of being a little over the top. But he covered him off quite well. Maranello Baby is now past, and I don't think Brownie can do anything about that. The only thing he can now do is hope Vexation will come through, and Vexation is offline, so won't be making a move anytime soon.
Yep. Copy, looking for his P3 spot back, says Spicy. You have no DRS to use. I'm going to be on your back. I've got mode 4. I've got the gap. I've got the DRS. And here I go. You can go as defensive as you like. I'm just going to climb on past you and just go straight on into P3. Good stuff from Copy. Now, actually not far away from P1 and 2. There's Yawn right there. That's a 1.2 second gap. Did get a little bit out of shape through turns 1 and 2, but ultimately that's still going to be relevant. 1.7 seconds, 1.8 almost. This is an opportunity for Copy to get further up this podium.
Yeah, Ferrari swapping behind you as well. So Dennis is now up to P9. He can set his sights on trying to close down Vexation, but that is a big gap to hope you can close down. That's 7 seconds. I think it's more of just... Actually, I haven't said that. We haven't done it yet, and I'm going to do it quickly. While I don't think there's a huge amount of action happening. Correct me if I'm wrong. Penalty rundown. Top 6, all penalty free. Penalty free, not penalty free. 3 seconds for Brownie, Vexation, and Dennis. 0 for Fragioko. Drews have an absence, both have 3. Tompa has 0 and Lou has 3, but now Brownie also has 3. No, that's 6 for him. That could lose that. Well, he's going to lose my place at the moment.
Who is that, sorry?
Brownie is now on 6.
Yeah, he's going to lose a singular place, like you're saying, to Vexation. It's not great at all, but ultimately, you know, ultimately we're expecting a bit much from Dennis. Not for anything other than he's on hard compound tyres. Yeah, those on the mediums, and they will be running on pretty worn tyres towards the end of this Grand Prix, but still, I think it's just a bit too much to ask. He might actually still bring himself in the range for Brownie, though, because remember, he's got 6 seconds penalty, so I don't think Dennis has any.
He has 3.
Never mind, he does, so yeah, he's got no chance. Copy, though, is within DRS range now of Yawn, so he's really brought that gap down.
Mistake.
Yeah, a bit of a... I need to stop looking at it. Every time I look at him, I just see him make a mistake, and I feel like it's my fault that he's done it, but, you know, Copy is committed. He's not backing out. He's still reeling Yawn in, and Yawn is actually slowly but surely dropping back on Yonti.
Yeah, I thought Yawn was closing him up, but Yonti's now just starting to streak away. There was a 1 second swing last lap, or 9/10. 23-1 for Yawn, 24 dead for Yawn. That's why there was a massive swing as Vexation. 3 second penalty as well. So Dennis has a chance if he can close out. It's a big if, and it might be like on the final lap he gains a couple of seconds. That's all you can really hope for at this stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, more penalties to that midfield makes Maranello much happier with this situation. He might actually fancy Chopper Beaker.
Might try. Beaker is 3.1 seconds behind Spicy, 1.2 seconds ahead of Maranello Baby. Now, if it ends, no.
Go on.
I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm thinking Yonti's obviously going to take the win because Yon's tyres are just disintegrating right now. He is struggling. There's no doubt about it. Copy is sort of teetering on the 1 second margin. Keeps bringing himself into it, and then Yon just suddenly finds out, oh, there's a bit of time here I can use, so I'm going to go for it. But at the same time, ooh, Ferrari drivers getting a little bit close. 10.45. Adonis has look a little bit uncomfortable through that series of corners. But Fragioko on his home race, yeah, he's in the points, but not the performance I was expecting.
No, he's had a mixed bag season, really, hasn't he? He's had some great
Oh,
results.
wow, that's a big crash.
Terrible results like Dennis has had.
That was enormous. Dennis.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen a crash like that in my life. Lost it
halfway
through
down.
the second Lesmo, came straight across the corner into the inside wall, and bam, exploded right over the top of Fragioko. Anybody who has any doubts if the Halo saves lives, it saved Fragioko's life there. That would have absolutely killed him. But luckily, the Halo exists. He is still alive, still in P9, and wow, whole life flashed before his eyes.
Looking good for Fragioko. He only needs to gain 1.8, call it 1.9 on Vexation to get that position. As Marinobu has now caught up with Beaker, he's starting to give him some pressure. I'm still keeping my eyes on the front too. Their time's staying relatively steady at this point, but Yawn is now going to be coming under pressure from Copy with the DRS as Spicy's pressuring Copy too. And where are we going to see some action first? I think it might be Spicy up towards Copy. That's going to be nothing. Let's have a look at Marinobu versus Beaker. That's probably going to be nothing as well, but that is definitely going to be nothing.
Pay very close attention to the drivers towards the front. All of those in the top 5 right now are on very old mediums, and you can see Beaker having issues coming out of Ascari. Honestly, I don't think that was a driver mistake. I think his tyres are just cooked now. I don't think he can actually continue doing what he's doing, because this is going to be a pass from Maranello. We know that anyway because of the gap. Beaker's not going to be able to capitalize on this at all. He's just going to have to just sit tight, use the slipstream where he can. That's here because Maranello, baby. Nice and easy overtake.
Yeah, just looking at Beaker's numbers, it's not looking good. He'll survive, as in he shouldn't get a puncture, but they are not going to be very pretty on the final lap.
Yeah, they're not. Yonti 1.3 seconds ahead of Yawn. The Copy, even though they're all on the same life of tyre, Copy looks more comfortable. Yawn just had a big step out there on the rear just from trying to push as hard as he is. This is just playing into the hands of Copy and potentially even the hands of Spicy. If any one of these top 4 get a penalty, they're immediately out of the running for the podium. There's no way that they're going to get it.
Hang on.
And Yawn's looking good. Yonti, sorry, looking good.
I'm looking at Yawn, hang on. No, sorry, I saw some red stuff fly in the sky. Instantly assumed it came from in front of Yawn's car, but I think it was just a brake board getting flung in the air.
It could have been debris from the Ferrari, because they did crash there.
Yeah, I suddenly see a bit of red go, is that an end plate of Yawn? I mean, the way he's driving it could very well be an end plate, but Copy is now right on his tail, and this should be an overtake here as they start lap 25 of 27 coming towards the end. As you said earlier, one penalty could change the entire dynamic of these front runners. Copy is through up into P2. What's he going to do?
Nothing.
No.
Spicy could have had an opportunity to get Yawn there, but just lost the rear a bit, and that cost him. He's now down 6'10", so the opportunity there to jump onto the podium has just been snatched away from him. Yawn now, in his scenarios, we've seen him throughout the majority of this race, very low ERS levels, but has a really solid exit through there, right onto the back of the Renault. Needs to worry about those tyres because they are going to start giving out soon, and I'm not sure whether or not Yawn is actually going to be able to survive the final few laps. Yonti's time, 1.8 seconds clear of Copy. Copy is sitting pretty, holding on tight for P2. Here comes Yawn.
Keep your eyes on the man in 5th. He is carving up the gap. He just gained half a second in the opening sector. He's going to gain another couple of tenths in the second sector. If he manages to nail this next lap, he'll be inside DRS of his teammate. Okay, yes, he's going to be on rather old softs as well, but he's got a shot here at a podium.
Yeah.
Don't rule Maranello out.
Well, the fact that he can see the podium right now, he can literally see the cars ahead that are in that scenario. Yawn's coming at Copy, isn't going to go for the late break. Spicy is bringing himself closer into this mix. Maranello, baby, not yet in the DRS range, but 1.3 seconds was what it was before they came into the corner. It's a 1.5 seconds, 1.7 seconds as they come out of it. He had a terrible run through the chicane. So any work he made, he may have just lost tire grip then.
Yeah, I think his tyres might have finally just hit the cliff, similar to Beaker's have as well. But Jorn around the outside there of Copy into the first of the lesson. Jorn back up to P2. We've still got a lap and a half left. And these guys must be literally one warning away from a penalty. They've had nothing so far. The front 6 are all penalty free. One mistake could cost the podium.
Yeah, it really could, but we have to be so delicate now. Look at this. Copy's made a mistake. Spicy all over the back of him, needs to get past him now because this is going to be an opportunity for him to hold on to Jorn if he can send it down, but he goes to mode 0. He backs out of the attack. He knows that something is going to happen. I think he could have got that, honestly. I think if he'd have just sent it past Copy down the inside of Parabolica, got Jorn, Slipstream and DRS, yes, it's not going to be an overtaking opportunity, but it's going to be a scenario because Copy's going for it now. And this is Jorn sliding down into P3. Spice is closing in on this. We are on the final lap, so Jonty, who just needs to carry on cruising, Copy needs to maintain pace and not make mistakes like he's just made. Jorn needs to carry on pushing, and he is doing, but he's running so low on ERS. Jorn may lose the podium altogether.
I'm worried about Spicy, actually. Oh no, never mind. I misread the number. He's going to be very low on fuel coming the end of this. That red light was flashing well before the line, so he's going to have to be saving. Jorn's also saving. Copy under a lot of pressure here. This is it. This is the last DRS straight. He's got a good drive off, but Jorn now with DRS, using all the remaining ERS he's got, everything left in the tank. Is he going to fancy a move down the inside here? He's looking. He knows better to dive from that far back. Maranello's joined the back of this. This could be decided at the checker flag. All to do with this final corner now. Can Jorn make a move? He's gaining. He's gaining. He's looking. Copy's gone defensive to the inside. Jorn's going to go the hard way around the outside. He's got it around the outside. Has he?
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Copy's made a mistake. Copy's having issues. We might get a Spicy coming in as well. He's not going to get it, but it's so close. Holy hell. Look at Maranello, baby. 5/100ths of a second behind his teammate. That could have gone either way at any second. That was a very close run to the line.
Wow. That's all I can say regarding that. That was... I think you could have flipped a coin and come up with a different answer, or an answer just be just as correct. It was that close coming towards the line. Drusav also making moves on Absinthe. There was a little nudge there. That was almost Drusav taking Absinthe on the line as well. Look at that. Two close battles in one race on the line. I think we've been treated today. A good race today, haven't we?
We really have. We've definitely been gifted. That was a very exciting run all the way to the line. I mean, look at that. P2, P3 and P4. You know, 1/10, and then you got 5/100ths of a second between 4th and 5th. That was such a good run. Copy did really well, gets himself in P3. Jorn did well to recover. Bear in mind he started on the pull step. The only driver to get 1:18.9. And honestly, he drove exceptionally well, just couldn't manage his ERS, and it's all a story of what could have been if he just had better ERS management on this track. He could have taken Jonty, because Jonty didn't actually have that much better pace than Jorn. It's just Jorn had nothing to work with. He was running on natural power from the engine, nothing else. But here is your rundown at the end of that Grand Prix. Once the screen loads, there it is. Jonty taking the win from P5 up to P1. It's a beautiful run from him with Jorn in P2. Copy, who just got overtaken through the Parabolica on the final lap by Jorn, does take P3. Spicy there in P4 with his teammate very close behind in P5. Beaker taking P6 with that 5-second stop-go penalty as well added at the end due to speeding in the pit lane. Then Brownie with 6 seconds of penalties. Vexation in the same boat there in P8 with 6 seconds. Fred Gioco in his home territory gets 9th with Absinthe rounding out the top 10. Best of the rest award does go to Jurislav with Lou coming in 12th. Tompa there in 13th. And then your DNFs were in big style of crashing. Dennis there in P14. Max and Duxie B, who retired in the pit lane due to a frustration situation. Don't blame him. But Mkasa, final question of the day. What's your driver of the day?
Maranello, baby. Last the 5th and he could have been on the podium here today. You just think if he hadn't run hards in qualifying, he could have won this race, I reckon.
Yeah, And I would be inclined to agree for the most part, except I think Yonti just delivered so much more. He started P5, got into the race lead pretty early on, to be truthfully honest, and then just held it from there on out. There was no issues. There was nothing to report. And, if you've ever seen somebody have a race that good where, you're able to just ignore them the entirety of the race, you think, oh, they've had a boring race. But actually, he just drove exactly how he needed to do the job at hand, which is get the 25 points in your pocket. And job's a good one. But that's it for the European Racing Series. Thank you everybody who tuned in to watch. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate for you. I've been Ben Raggan McConnell, and joining me has been Jamie McAllister Elder. Jamie, as always, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you guys next week in the European Racing Series in Singapore. Right?
Actually, I think yes.
Yeah, nailed